Who do you think is going to be taking Vegas?
Realistically talking, I think don't hurt me. Seth texted me when OpTic was making changes when I was like 16. He's like,
you were gross at World War II. I'm not lying to you. You were gross.
And then E6 offered me a contract. It was me, Censor, Dashy in general. That made me like a top 3, top 5 highest paid player in the league, and I accepted it.
Would you ever consider going back to competing?
I said it before. I think I'd probably
Create your top 4 roster of all time.
top 4 roster ever.
All time.
Yeah, I'm going.
Episode 3, exclusive. You know this ain't no peasant shit. Today, we have OpTic newest member, a MVP, one of the best content creators in the entire Call of Duty space, I'd say across the land. Introducing, you know him very well if you're part of Zin City.
Hecz ZooMaa.
Fat Tony himself, the one, the only Methodz.
Very kind. Thank you.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good.
You looking nice.
You're fucking gassing me up. Yeah, fresh cut.
Yeah,
Leave for Vegas tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who you think is gonna? You know, we're start spicy. Who do you think is gonna be taking Vegas? I know you have a biased answer, but hopefully it doesn't have to be the biased answer.
I mean, yeah, OpTic.
Okay.
No, realistically talking, I think 5 teams can win.
Okay.
I think. Don't hurt me. I don't have Seattle in there.
Oh, this guy, bro.
My top 5 teams that I think could win right now: FaZe, Thieves, OpTic, Ultra, and New York.
Okay.
And then out of the bottom 3, Boston, Rocker, Seattle, I do think Seattle is like the most likely to have like a Cinderella like turn up run.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think based on recency, I kind of give OpTic like the benefit of the doubt after like their blunder in Toronto. You have to hope that was a fluke after like back-to-back seconds. Like they're looking good. Then obviously they fall off the cliff a bit. I think FaZe was the best team in Toronto. I think FaZe bottled it versus New York. New York's obviously great too. I just think FaZe was by far the best team there, and they somehow just fucking bottled it.
Yeah.
And then Ultra and Thieves you can never count out. So those are my top 5. I hope OpTic wins, obviously selfishly and biasly, but my real hope is just an OpTic FaZe final. Like I think everybody wins. I think we win. I think. Especially with the uncertainty going forward, like with the future, like, you know, Twitch and YouTube and like, you know, we really want to have like a really big bang. Like we want to make a statement with champs right now and have, you know, the best teams or like, you know, the biggest fan bases involved. That way, I feel like hopefully we can make a statement and like make an argument for like, you know, we have something good going here. Like let's fucking keep it going, you know?
Yeah. How's the whole transition gonna affect the watch party? You guys know yet, or no? Is it just kind of in the middle?
I mean, right now it's all up in the air. Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, ideally we're all hoping it stays on Twitch because the Twitch, you know, the watch party obviously has done incredible for Twitch. Not only for us. I mean, for fucking look what Tommy's doing, right? Look at other streamers getting the watch party. Like, it's just Twitch is the live streaming platform, and I do think YouTube can be like a player in the future. Like I think their VOD is second to none. Like I think they have the VOD game on lock by far. Like that's their UI and their discoverability for VOD is great. But when it comes to live streaming, I just don't think they have like the discoverability, and they don't have like they're just not known for. If you want to go watch an esports event, right? You wake up on a Friday and you want to watch esports. You don't go to YouTube. You go to Twitch. Like that's where you're gonna find the live esports event. So. Yeah, I worry if we go to YouTube.
I mean, I hope you guys are solid. I hope you guys find a way, even if it is exclusive, to make it work. I think there will be a way, considering how big you are, considering how big Scump is, OpTic as a whole. I think it's possible that, you know, no matter what happens, it will be okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, we started off on a COD basis.
But I'm not worried about us, though. Like, I think no matter what, selfishly and biasly, I think OpTic will be okay.
Of course.
Seth will be okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm more worried about the future of the esport and, like, players coming up, right? Like, player salaries. This is the first year where I actually think player salaries will drop. We've heard this every year. Salaries are going to drop, and then one team sets the market price. Bang. There's one free agent that 2 teams, 3 teams want. They offer him $400K. That's the market price right there. So-and-so is $400K. I want $350. I want $375. I have more followers. I'm a better player. I've had more accolades. Whatever it may be, I bring more eyes. It only takes one team to set the market, but I actually do think we'll see a correction this offseason. At least I think. I obviously could be wrong. But my worry is the Call of Duty esports longevity. It's like if we go back to YouTube for 2 years, Nadeshot had a a factual tweet where it's like viewership is everything. Like you can sacrifice a lot of things. Eyeballs is not one of them. You cannot afford to lose the viewership. Once the viewership is gone, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like in my opinion, and I obviously have a naive maybe view of it because I'm not in the board meetings. I'm not a high level executive who knows all the numbers. I think the only thing you can't sacrifice is the viewership.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be profitable. If you were to put a gun to my head and say, how do you be profitable? I think sponsorship, merchandise, I think is huge.
Yeah.
Merchandise is fucking ginormous. And then events is weird because I think depending on the team, depending on location, let's use Vegas as an example. I think a lot more people want to go to an event in Vegas than let's say, I don't know.
I could say Columbus. I could say
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like it just depends on the time of the year, what's going on. So I don't know. I would say sponsorship and
merch.
I think merch is huge.
So far, I think esports. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Bouncing off of, COD, esports, stuff like that. Let's bring it back. Let's take it back. Let's take it back home.
Yeah.
When you were a chicken parmesan eating.
Yeah, I still eat that shit, but it's not as much.
Roly-poly boy back in the East Coast, the Northeast, I believe, example.
New Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey boy. Who are you? Who are you from? Tell me about back home. Tell me about your family. Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
Shit, man. Depends on who you ask, I think.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, the upbringing was definitely it was interesting because a lot of the things that people ask me now is how do I get involved? How do I do this? And the question is I can't relate to the current landscape of how people come up and challengers. And, like, I came up with a very small, tight-knit local scene. Me, Bose, Spacely, Seth would come to the NJ Halos. I'm talking about players like Bobby, Assassin, Twiz, BL Fire, players that sort of you may know or may not know. And we had a tight-knit community. If you want to rewind even further, I mean, I grew up playing sports.
Yeah, I want to know about your family. I want to know where you come from. Are they, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so I'm grateful.
Zinni, Italian guy,
Yeah, I'm grateful. My family life has always been great, thankfully. I got 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. My parents are still together, thankfully. So I've had a great upbringing. Grew up playing sports, WWE. I was just I guess I would describe it as a regular kid, right? I had a good social life. I was always very social. Like, growing up, my parents would call me the mayor because I would just walk up to people in the grocery store and talk to them. And, I was very outgoing. I was not – I've changed a bit growing up, but I was never scared to talk to anybody. I walk up to anybody, a group of people, and start talking, whatever. So very social, very sports-oriented. Casual gamer, right? Like Spider-Man, Sly Cooper, Rock Band, Ratchet and Clank, casual game, like the golden era of PS2 and the Spider-Man game on PS2 and fucking Need for Speed, whatever. I would just play whatever, and it was in my free time after baseball or football, whatever.
Just having fun, just being home and not even a competitive thing, just a wind down almost.
Yeah, Club Penguin, whatever. But back then it wasn't a wind down because I didn't have any worries back then. I mean, back then when you're a kid growing up like that, the only thing I was worried about is the sports I was playing and hanging out with my friends and whatever. But
what'd you play?
Would I play sport wise?
Yeah,
I played everything sport wise. My best sport was baseball. My best sport was baseball. You're the next Babe Ruth and shit? We just don't know? No. I wasn't a good hitter. I was a good pitcher and catcher, but I was not. I was an inconsistent hitter. I wasn't a good hitter. Is the honest answer.
Okay.
Basketball, I wasn't very good. I played roller hockey. I had fun playing roller hockey.
Say basketball. You're 5'6".
5'8".
You're 5'6". Of course, you're not gonna be good at basketball. You're getting dunked on.
I just played everything. It wasn't like the only game I was super competitive in was baseball. My team placed second in states one year. We had a really good team, Hazlitt Hawks.
Oh shit! Local shout out,
Local shout out. We had a fun team growing up, and it's just I would do anything to just go back and just experience a day back then before all this shit took over, the social media horse shit era of the world, and I wish it was so much simpler back then, right? It was very
the childhood or life in general.
I mean, both childhood and life, but I mean it was just a very fun atmosphere, right? Me and my teammates were my best friends growing up.
Yeah.
And of course, all the families would get together and we'd host barbecues and parties. And now, of course, I don't really talk to a lot of people anymore. Life has changed quite a bit, but it was just very simple back then, right? The only social media you had was we had those, you slide, I think it was called the Envy, the phone. And you slide it up
and you
had
had
a keyboard. I'm not sure if I had the sidekick. I think I had the sidekick. But like social media wasn't that, like, you didn't have Twitter, right? You had Facebook for a bit.
Facebook,
I don't even-
BBM.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AOL Messenger, Skype.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't social media era really. But yeah, playing outside with friends and growing up normally. My dad's a fucking grinder. 4 jobs. Like owns a lawn and landscaping business, builds and sells houses, sells lumber, and he owns a bar and liquor store. So
Absolute grinder, man.
very grinder mentality. He does snow plowing, so whenever it snows, he doesn't come home till 9 a.m. because he's out all night plowing. He's a grinder. So best believe he was a little mind fucked when I wanted to quit all my sports and I'm getting fatter and and I wanted to just play game battles. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because back then it wasn't what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, pause the game, we're eating dinner. I was like, I can't fucking pause it. I'm in a game battle. Like, I'm in a GB. Like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, I was like, I literally can't pause it.
You're like, Dad, I swear, I can't. He's like,
Yeah.
no, you fucking can't. Get to the table. We got pasta.
Yeah, and then I started going to local tournaments, and that's when, okay, he's like seeing what's going on, but still not anything crazy. And I told him I want to travel to Chicago for a tournament. He's like, you fucking crazy? Like, you want to fly to Chicago for a fucking Call of Duty tournament?
Yeah.
And I think he said no. And my mom is the one who like talked to him, and she's like, we have to let him pursue this. Like, let's just let him do it. My mom flies to Chicago with me. She sits in a hotel room all weekend. We first round, Crim 6, Aches, Complexity. We placed 5th. But like, you know, it's still not super. What really changed it all is a conversation my dad had with Nadeshot, because obviously I met Nadeshot at a young age, and Nadeshot kind of, you know, I guess I was well known in like, you know, the scene, because the scene was a lot smaller, but I think Nadeshot helped put me on like a much bigger scale, introduced me to Seth, who obviously now one of my best
basically
friends.
your best friend duo.
Yeah, exactly. And then and everybody, Hector.
Were you known? I'm gonna keep on that point too. But were you known as a as a player, like a great
Yes.
player, but or also
Yes, I was
as
known-
a person in the scene as well?
Yeah, I mean both, but I had high stock as a player growing up. Like, I was really fucking good, and like my age kind of screwed me for a few years because you had to be 18 to play at champs. But I mean, like, I got a text from I mean, and this wasn't an actual offer, but like Seth texted me when OpTic was making changes when I was like 16. He's like, how old are you? Or like, when do you turn 18 or whatever it was.
Right.
So like I had high stock. I mean, my phase red team was good. I was always considered a good player. Obviously also the funny dude, the goofball. But yeah, I grew up in the local scene, and then, you know, Nadeshot had a talk with my dad and was like, your son has a career here. And ever since then, you know, he's kind of been all in. And then kind of had a weird phase when I was, you know, a senior in high school, because I was heavy. I mean, I was really heavy. I was 220, like all fat. I was a big kid, smoking weed every day, dabbing, like definitely like a different, didn't really give a fuck about anything else. I mean, after school, I'm dabbing, I'm smoking weed.
You playing game battles high?
No, I didn't. So no, I
Your
didn't.
teammates back then are watching this like, what the
Well,
fuck?
no, because I took a break when I was losing my weight. I took a break. Well, no, I would never scrim high. At least, man, fuck. I'm trying to think. My brain shot back then.
Yeah, you're
I
trying
don't
not to
think-
expose yourself to the old teammates. Like,
No. I mean, I would tell them now. No, I would never play high because I was bad high.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I saw. So when I was 16 or 17, I took my break, and I had to choose between going to X Games or going to prom. And
Wow.
And my fucking stupid mindset was there's gonna be more X Games, and I guess I thought prom was more than it was. The reality was I didn't want the girl I wanted to go with someone else. Is what is I
oh
think.
my God!
is
There's
I-
no way my
is-
boy is fucking simp, dude.
Is I think is what it was. So yeah, I chose to go to prom over X Games, and then
that has to be a decision regretted to this day,
hell
right?
yeah, because I mean my stock was always pretty high growing up. It was kind of known that my age always screwed me over, right? I would have decent teams in my age, I just couldn't go to champs. So I mean, like, it was kind of just like pointless, right? I would play a couple events, get dropped, have to go to a different team, whatever it may be. And I really wanted to lose weight. I got into the social life thing because, I mean, if you want to be a pro, at least it's kind of changed now where it's more like a more official schedule where it's kind of a little easier to work around and plan dinners or go out at night. Back then, I mean, you were scrimming all night. Like, tournaments were at night. Everything was at night. So you're sacrificing social life, everything. I mean, you're life,
locked in your house.
Yeah, your life is Call of Duty. And I think I just wanted to be a fucking normal kid for once, because I sacrificed everything, really. Time with family, friends, just to be a pro and pursue my dream. And then, you know, I got a taste of the social life and the partying and, you know, like, you know, getting, you know, some, because I mean, dude, when I was fat, I mean, I thought I looked good. And then looking back, I'm like, damn.
You thought you were the sexiest guy in the room, huh?
Dude, because I was, no, not at all. No, but I was the funny guy. So I talked to a lot of girls and like, you know, I was friends with, I mean, I was very social, friends with everybody. And I'm like, damn, why don't these girls like me? And I'm like buying new clothes from PacSun. I'm like, I look fucking good.
Damn, this Val served this freaking, this Harley shit looks hard, dog.
Yeah, and then so, I mean, just losing weight by default. Obviously, I look better, I feel better, and then I'm drinking, I'm having a good time. So yeah, I kind of thought it'd be a lot easier than it really was to just come back. I remember like it was yesterday. I texted JCap when I turned 18 to pick me up on NB. He's like, I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? I was like, we teamed together, like, you know I'm good.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, you just took a break. And like,
how long was this break?
I took like
a year, 2 years?
I think it was, so I played a couple events in AW, and then I took my break. And then I came back in Black Ops 3. So the break was less than a year, but
Things shifted really big between AW and Black Ops 3.
But I mean, being out of the game for that little piece of time is big. So then, okay, I can't really join the team I wanted to join.
Right.
So I formed CLG, me, BL Fire, Complex, and Fellow, and we're fucking the final bosses online. We are fucking, we are insanely good.
Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, spent a few years trying to fight back up, right? CLG and Black Ops 3, we got relegated. That sucked.
Yeah.
Echo Fox, we couldn't really. I mean, we had so many different rosters, we couldn't sort of break the barrier.
Your jump of teams and how many organizations you've been a part of is not talked about enough.
Yeah,
like it's
too many.
spectacular.
But to be fair, it's inflated because back then there were no contracts. I was underage. You can go from team. I could be on Most Wanted this weekend, and next weekend be playing for Team Caliber. Next weekend strictly business. Like it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying. There weren't contracts. It was a lot. So when you go to my COD Wikipedia, you'll see a lot of teams, but it's a little inflated just because of how, you know, the underage thing and jumping back and forth. But I've been on a lot of teams. And World War II, obviously, I get back in the scene. I get my break because I'm fucking insane. Like, I'm really good. And World War II is when I doubled down. I stopped smoking, or I either stopped smoking entirely or I'd only smoke before bed. One of the two.
Just taking everything more seriously. Taking the game, taking the game more seriously.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, I need to get back to where I want to be. And obviously, I'm still into fitness and working out pretty heavily. And I'm insane. So I team up with Doug and them on Next Threat, and everyone's talking about me in the sense where it's like I'm dropping 40 every game, but our placings aren't great. I think it's like me, Doug, Ricky, Nagafin.
Okay.
Then we get a lucky break in there was like some Canadian invitational, like an 8-team event, and I think Rise couldn't go because Aqua had a passport issue or something, and we were next in pro points or something. So lucky break, we get to go there, and I am just fucking insane. And it's an 8-team invitational, so everybody's watching, right? Like it's like there's only 8 teams, and I'm 40 every single game.
You were gross in World War II. I'm not lying to you. You were gross.
I was crazy. And then E6 offered me a contract. It was me, Censor, Dashy in general. That made me like a top 3, top 5 highest paid player in the league, and I accepted it. But we weren't that good, and I knew that like it'd be like short-lived. So on Christmas Eve, I'm on the phone with E6, like the owner. And I'm like, hey, man, like, you know, it's Christmas Eve. I'm stressed out. I feel like I made the wrong move. Would you, like, please just let me go for my contract? And, like, I feel like a lot of people have talked about E6 in the past in a negative manner, like, treated me incredibly well. Like I was signed to a contract. I regretted that decision. I asked to be released, and he said, you know what, no problem. Wow. Release me from my contract. I wanted to go to Rise. He could have very easily made it a buyout thing or a trade thing. Definitely
made life difficult. Yeah.
Could have caused problems. Did the exact opposite. Release me. Go do what you got to do. We appreciate you. Like, we appreciate your professionalism, because I didn't act out. I would genuinely just ask, like, please. And then I went to Rise, me, Looney, TJ. We decided between Gunless and Faceno. Thank God we chose Pierce, because he was fucking final boss.
Yeah, he was.
And then that was sort of my comeback year. Obviously, you know, Rise, they dropped me. I go to TK. I leave TK, and Lamar doesn't talk to me for 3 months. But to be fair, I mean, listen, man, I got an OpTic offer, and despite I was the 3rd choice for OpTic, they wanted an SMG, they wanted ZooMaa or John, and
this is where the OpTic story kind of starts, right? Or does it? I mean, it kind of starts before that with you being friends with Scump and Nate and these guys, but like, how did? So I guess it's perfect transition to how that story started too.
The OpTic story?
Yeah, I guess your connection to them.
Well, no,
right?
I mean, I've always felt like the closest thing to OpTic without being an OpTic forever, just because like might come up. Obviously, the blacklist. I don't really want to talk about the blacklist, not because I don't want to talk about it, just because I've talked about it so much that it's like if you don't know by now, I'm sure you can find out what the blacklist was, what actually happened.
Check out the Eavesdrop. On the Eavesdrop podcast with Hecz, he talks all about it. There's a whole 10 minutes on it, so you guys can check it out over there.
Yeah, so I've always felt very close to OpTic. Like, they've been my best friends. They've been mentors, and they've been my people, I guess, is the way I describe it. Like, they've been my group, like the people I like hanging out with and look up to and all that.
Right.
So blacklist happens, obviously, some weird friction there. Don't talk to Hecz for a while. Me and Nadeshot, we were very close, growing up a little bit, and now we're friendly, but, I mean, it's never been what it used to be. And I don't think there's actually any weird animosity. I just think, just based on situations, it's just not kind of what it used to be. Me and Seth forgave me very easily and, whatever, but yeah, then joining OpTic in World War II, kind of an option. No matter what, being third, fifth, eighth option, if you get an opportunity to play for OpTic in the Call of Duty scene, I feel like you have to take it. I think very few players would pass it up. Not only have they had great players and great rosters. I mean, I was playing with Crim, Octane, and Scump, and sure, there were some role issues, but you get the opportunity to play with literal Mount Rushmore players like GOATs, like Crim, the winningest player of all time, Seth, arguably the most talented and raw, skilled player of all time. Like, you have that opportunity and you take it. And Lamar, one of my best friends, I kind of had to, it was some shady shit, but at the same time, it's like, I think he would have done that same motherfucker. I know he would have done that same shit. I know for a fact.
I still remember the sushi dinner. When the conversation was had. Remember the sushi dinner? You don't.
The sushi dinner?
The sushi dinner
in
was
Seattle?
I think it was
no.
Was it you, me, and Lamar? It was you, me, and Lamar.
The sushi dinner?
That's what it was talked about. Do you not remember that?
Like after the fact?
Before the fact.
No.
You don't remember this?
This never happened. Are you on Mars?
Maybe. No, I'm not definitely on Mars. Wait, where did this conversation happen?
On the phone. I woke Lamar up. So.
No. You're missing something.
Okay.
It was the conversation when you said that, because you remember said some shit. You're like, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm hesitating. And then later, once you accepted it, then you gave him a call.
Nope. I feel like you're wrong about this.
Am I mixing it up?
You're mixing it up because what happened was it was very low key. It was very, unless I'm missing something. So what actually went down was it was supposed to be a three-way trade.
Okay.
Me to FaZe.
Uh-huh.
So OpTic was going to acquire my contract from Rise because TK hasn't fully got me yet.
Yes. Okay.
So TK didn't actually buy my contract from Rise yet.
It wasn't actually official yet, so you were still technically allowed to move around.
Yes. So technically, Rise could send me anywhere they wanted to.
Right.
And of course, Kareem would never just send me. Like, he talked to me and made sure I was good. But yeah. So TK doesn't officially acquire me, and I don't think any of the players knew this. I don't think I even knew this. And then some things start talking about how FaZe and OpTic, ZooMaa. OpTic wants ZooMaa, and I was like, okay, I would go to FaZe then. Like, I would like to go to FaZe. So the idea was OpTic's going to acquire my contract and trade me for ZooMaa.
Okay.
But OpTic also did this knowing that if ZooMaa fell through, they were okay to play with me. Like, they were okay with me as a backup option. They couldn't get John. Their goal was ZooMaa. And if they couldn't get ZooMaa, they were okay with me, if that makes sense. Like, they weren't ecstatic, but they were like, they still get a really good AR player. They just didn't really want an AR. And then, of course, I can't really tell Lamar what's going on. I can't tell anybody what's going on.
This is where you become a snake.
So I call Lamar. I wake him up out of sleep, and I was like, bro, I'm joining OpTic. He's like, what do you mean? He's like still tired. He's not fully there yet. And he's like super cool about it. He's like, oh, fuck, all good. And I'm like, what?
You're like, what?
And then he woke up, and then he's like, and then I forget if he called me or if he texted me or if he might have just blocked me and everything, and then he had me muted on Mumble.
I heard this story is that you guys would be in TeamSpeak together, or it was what was it called? Mumble? What was it called?
You may be right, Mumble or TeamSpeak, whatever it was.
Yeah,
you may be right. It may have been like a possible thing.
Which one? The sushi dinner? What should you think about?
Go ahead, keep talking. Because try to refresh my memory.
About the sushi dinner?
No, just about like the story that you heard that we used to be in calls and shit or whatever.
Oh yeah, you guys used to be in calls together, and you would be in the call, even in 8s and stuff. They'd be in calls together, and Lamar would be specifically deafened off him, and people would have to transfer
Lamar,
messages between you guys.
Yeah, Lamar had me muted, so like Lamar couldn't hear my voice and mumble. So if we were both ARs, so we'd be captains in 8s, and we'd be picking teams, and he'd have to like have someone play a game of telephone and be like, who'd he pick? And I could hear him.
Dude, it's the pettiest shit of all time, dude.
But then finally one day, I messaged him and I was like,
this is months later, by the way, right?
Yeah, months later, and I was like, bro, we gotta squash this. Like, I was like, I know you understand where I was coming from. I said it wasn't the right way, but to be fair, there was no real right way to go about it. But I do apologize. I was like, I don't want to lose a good friend over some shit, so I apologize. And then we squashed it, and now of course we're close again. But it was definitely an interesting time. And then the OpTic thing. Yeah. I think I was a great player on OpTic, like a very consistent. You can go back and watch. I was very good. I was a very good, consistent player on OpTic. Me and Krim butted heads a lot. I just think the way I am and the way I really want to win when I was playing or when I'm winning. So I'll speak my mind if I think you're wrong, I guess. So me and Krim sort of butted heads about the ways to play the game or whatever. And looking back, if I was maybe a little more quiet and just let him steer the ship, maybe I would have stayed on OpTic longer. I don't actually know. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't just going to roll over and, like, you know what I'm saying? I was going to say, I want to play this way. I'm coming from Rise, who was the best team in the game. Like, you know, this is the way they do things. So we butted heads a bit, but we had my OpTic roster in World War II was one of the most fun rosters of all time. Like, got along super well outside of the game. We're working out together, eating together. They're drinking. I was underage, so of course I would never drink underage.
Of course not.
And so it was just a very fun team. And then obviously we fast forward to when I get dropped and how I found that out.
Okay.
And then so I just turned 21. And you want to hear all this, by the way? I'm kind of fucking ranting about it. I'm kind of ranting about everything.
This conversation is going. I got more to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. But
So
people want to hear your story, brother.
Yeah. I'm at the blackjack table in AC with my family. I just turned 21. And I'm a fucking head case during Rostermania. I'm always sketched out. I mean, Lamar will tell you. Me, Lamar, and Austin have like a trio every Rostermania. It's a shame it's ending now because I'm retired, but like a game of telephone. What did you hear? What's going on? You got an offer? Who's going where? Can I go there? What's the word? And then it just constant information. We have a little circle.
Yeah.
And
the group text during that time must be going crazy.
So I'm sketched out during Rostermania. I haven't heard anything, but I texted my OpTic group chat. I was like, yeah, we're not making changes, right? And Krim replied, he's like, no, like we'd of course let you know if we're making changes. And then Doug Censor Martin texts me a few hours later, like, yo, you're getting dropped for Dashy. Oh. And I lose it in the chat. I'm like, I was like, you guys serious? Like, you fucking just told me we're not making changes. And then they were like, we were going to tell you tomorrow. And then
it's pretty snaky, but
but
understandable, but still,
in hindsight, there's no way to not be snaky looking back at it because they were going for Dashy. Yeah. And Dashy's on complexity. They kind of had to make sure they can actually get him before letting me know. Because the last thing they want to happen is they can't get who they want. Then I'm feeling weird about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So sketchy, yes. It was the wrong way, yes. Do I blame them? No.
Got you.
At the time, I blamed them, especially Seth. I mean, literally my best friend. And, like, I unfollowed him on Twitter and, you know, the whole fucking... Yeah, I wouldn't...
Y'all had a little drama, a little beef then.
I mean, I just wouldn't talk to him, really. I was very upset with him. And I remember one night being fucking blacked out at the festival, and I texted Hector. I said, your players are cowards. and of course he knew what happened. He's like, what happened? I was like, you fucking know what happened. I was like, whatever. So that was it. Whatever. Fast forward, I joined FaZe, Black Ops 4. I bottled that one. That was my own fault. My head wasn't in the right place. I was very... Whatever. FaZe, I was actually good at Black Ops 4. I really was. And that's one of my biggest regrets is not taking that roster or that game a little more seriously. My head was a little not really focused.
Okay.
And then W19, played solid, won a championship. Cold War, the birth of Zin City, right? Obviously, I get benched in what I would consider maybe, honestly, my best game ever, the Krig meta. I didn't get a chance to compete in the Krig meta in that game, and I think if I did, I truly think that was my best game ever, possibly.
Is it your favorite game?
Not my favorite game, but I think it was definitely a top 2, top 3, just skilled and like I knew
competitive
what was going on. Yeah. I was good. I didn't get the chance then, but luckily, blessing in disguise, I was able to build what I call the fucking Zin City, and now it's, you know, the community that's had my back and you know, sort of kept me afloat the whole time, you know. So, whatever, things happen for a reason. It is what it is. And, you know, my career obviously ended this past year in Boston. Retired on the stage.
That was an epic moment in all of COD.
I was the man for a day.
For a day? Yeah, you had it all going.
I was the man for a day.
How did that feel? I mean, like, how did
how'd
you come to the decision?
Well, obviously, Seth and I plan to both retire after the season and then do a show and do our thing together. And
so this is pre-planned.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed that after this year I would join OpTic and then we'd, you know, get after it. And then he jumped the gun early, and I'm like, fuck.
You didn't know?
No, because he didn't tell anybody. I found out the day he did it, and then every day he's like, he was poaching me. He was trying to get me to come retire and texting me and all this shit.
Yeah.
I, of course, wasn't completely against it. I was just like, let me see how this next event goes, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Then I see how good the watch party's doing, and I'm talking to my family. I'm talking to my friends. It's like, I was the man at Boston, but that doesn't mean I'm unbenchable, you know. Like, on Ultra, I was the man. I was the face of the franchise, and then they benched me. So teams that value winning, they'll make decisions to win, and which I respect fully. Like, I respect a team benching their biggest player to try and I'm cool with that. I respect the fuck out of it. But I started thinking, like, you know, like, I could get benched after Major 2. I can get benched after Major 3. I could, you know, I have an opportunity right now to go join the place I want to be long term. Like, yeah. I've always wanted to be OpTic long term, and I've always been that way. Like, the truth is, if I retired after this year and I had multiple content offers, I probably wouldn't even field them. You know, like, I would have just joined OpTic.
OpTic was home for you.
Yeah, just it's the people I want to be around. I mean, I have a great, I think the best production in esports. Like, you just have, it is the place to be, at least for me. And then I had this opportunity to obviously join this runaway train. Like, the watch parties are taking off. Seth just retired, and he's offering me, you know, he's like, you know, we'll do this show together. You'll be my boy on the watch party. Like, it's gonna be us. And I was like, you know what? I'll fucking do it. I'm like, it makes sense. Like, career longevity, it makes sense. I like competing, but I don't like the process of competing and what goes into it. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of. I mean, I didn't have time to work out. I didn't have time to make food. I didn't have time to stream anymore. I felt like my entire life was competitive Call of Duty, which was a blessing, but also after doing it for a decade, I mean, it's not like I'm like a fresh blood, 18, new hunger. Like, I've won before. I haven't won the big one, which sucks, but I know what I felt the win before. Like, you know, I'm not happy personally with my career, like, accolades-wise. I would have loved to perform better and have better placings, but I think this made sense. I think me as a creator, I think I have maybe, I think I have potential as a creator, and I think joining OpTic when I did and taking the opportunity and sort of relieving myself of some of the stress I was feeling as a player, I think it was the right move. Do I miss competing? Fuck yes. I missed the fuck out of competing. But competing isn't competing. Competing is what you get to do every month or 2 months on the stage, and then the real story is the hours you're putting in behind the scenes, the VOD, the third sets, and those, they were just getting too tiring. And you pair that with the opportunity of a lifetime, I think, as a Call of Duty creator, as a Call of Duty centric creator. I think when OpTic comes knocking, you have to consider it. And so yeah, I made the move, and I haven't looked back since. But I also feel like I haven't really gotten started yet. I mean, it's been very watch party. You know, my schedule's not as, I guess, clean as I'd like it to be. Mm-hmm. But obviously, I mean, you know, I have some things that I've been working on behind the scenes, and when those start happening, I think good things.
Can't wait for them.
I think hopefully, you know, things will go well. Hopefully, but yeah, I'll find my footing. It's a weird balance to retire and then immediately go into like full-time content, because it's like, part of me wants to just relax and take a break and just fucking lay in bed or go for a walk, and part of me wants to grind. It's a weird one, but yeah, that's where we are now. And
within the content side of things, OpTic as a whole, I mean, I want to hear about your, you know, being part of these watch parties and interacting with all this new franchise of people on the content side, not as a competitor. How has OpTic been for you as a home?
Yeah, I mean, it is the home, really. I mean, I don't have a single complaint about what's going on, right? I mean, like, you know, I do my content for OpTic. I have the team behind me if I want to do something, right? If I need graphics made, if I need advice on a thumbnail, if I need title advice, if I need people to go get tacos with, if I want to go to a dinner, if I want to go for a walk. Like I have people around me, and it's exactly where I want to be. And they've of course made this transition seamless, and they've sort of made me. They've quickly integrated me into, I think, what OpTic is now.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's the best piece of advice Hecz has given you?
Probably not to give a fuck about what anybody thinks. I mean, like, I think I've received a lot more hate than I was anticipating.
From who? The Green Wall, or just the community?
I think the community. I don't think the Green Wall. I don't think the real Green Wall. I don't know. I've received a lot more hate than I anticipated in general, and he's like, you're fucking here because I want you here. Like he's like you would not be sitting there if I didn't want you here, or if we didn't want you here. He was like, you know what? Not everyone's gonna like you right away. Like just be you and just let it happen. Basically.
You've actually been OpTic since you were like 13, bro, which is insane. In some realm, in some universe, you've been OpTic for that long, and. I mean, I'm gonna ask too. Why do you think this hate comes?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
The Reddit's an interesting place.
The Reddit is an interesting place, and I don't know. I truly think that there are just like, it's just something that happens maybe, like where like some people get a lot of love just to get love. Some people get a lot of hate just to get hate. I think I don't know. I don't think people are very impressed by my accolades, but it's like I still know a lot about Call of Duty. Like I was at the top level for 10 years, like playing with and against the best. Like sure, I didn't win a lot. Which sucks, but I can look at a mini map and tell you the right and wrong play 99.9% of the time.
Right.
Like I'm, especially from the outside looking in, like I know what's going. Like I know the fucking game of Call of Duty. It's been my whole life. So I'm not sure if it's a mixture of them not thinking, I'm, because I'm on the watch party and I'm talking analytically and I'm saying this guy is playing like shit, and it's like, oh, Zin, you're one. But I'm a very joking guy, and I'll joke with my friends, like, because I know all these people personally.
Of course, yeah.
And the few times where I feel like maybe I've made a shit joke or I've overstepped, I've always reached out personally behind closed doors and been like, yo, I said this and this, like, I hope you don't mind, and if you do mind, I do, like, whatever. Like, I've always patched things up, or if I've ever overstepped or said something that I think has personally affected someone, I've gone out of my way to assure that it hasn't, or whatever. Like, I think people see me joking with people I know personally, and they view that as me, like, being a dick maybe, but, like, I would never make a joke about someone that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
everyone behind the scenes knows each other.
Correct.
Everyone's friendly.
Most of us grew up together. But the honest answer is, I don't know where a lot of the hate comes from. I think a lot of people hate to see change. Like, change is sometimes difficult.
Right.
And you see someone who, sure, I was integrated and a part of OpTic. Not a part of OpTic, but I was close to OpTic when I was really young.
Mm-hmm.
But they see this new guy who immediately gets, like, integrated into everything OpTic and podcasts, and I'm next to Seth for everything, and we're doing everything together.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are kind of just like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I'm saying? He's not OpTic yet. Is maybe some of it. And then you have the weirdos who try to do like the Methodz versus ZooMaa thing, because me and Tommy were very, very close, and we're still close, but obviously just based on the situation, like I can't do everything with Tommy like I used to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll say it right now. In a perfect world, I would like it to be Seth, me, Tommy, right next to each other. Like if I had it my way, I would want Tommy with us. But people, the Zoo Mafia, obviously, he has a great community.
Yeah.
And I was very integrated with that. And I think me joining OpTic, people just sort of start this narrative of like, oh my God, you don't hang out with ZooMaa anymore. You don't do this and that and this, and it's just like. It's not actually, there's no problem at all behind the scenes between anybody. But people create this problem. They're like, oh, you chose this over this. And it's just like.
Puts you in a weird spot overall, man. I feel like it puts you in a weird spot because it fuels it.
What's the option? Let's be real. I wanted to join OpTic, but okay, I joined OpTic and I'm with Scump and whoever for a lot of things, and I can't do as much stuff with Tommy. Or vice versa. Let's say there's a world where I joined FaZe and I'm with Tommy, and then I can't do stuff with Seth. Like, it's like there's no winning in this situation. No matter what, I have good friends in a lot of places. And no matter what, I think people will look for a problem. But when it comes to the hate, I don't know. And that's what kind of fucked me up for a bit, because there was like a huge hate Reddit post. And it kind of caught me off guard.
What'd it say?
I was like, what the fuck? It was like Methodz is immature. He's talking about genitalia and saying ball sack, saying ball sack jokes, and like it's just a 400 comment hate thread.
The fuck is wrong with ball sack jokes?
And this is how I know they pick and choose, because me and Seth, we sit next to each other and we say the same exact type of shit, the same jokes.
Yeah, you're bouncing off each other.
Same jokes, and it's just a 400 comment Reddit thread about me, and I'm like, the guy next to me, who you guys love, is saying the exact same thing. The exact same things, same ballpark, same jokes, same genre, everything. But there's a 400 comment Reddit post. So I think, I don't know. But for a while, I was kind of a shell of myself for like a few weeks to a month, just because that kind of got to me. And I was just like, I started questioning myself. I started questioning like my jokes, and like, I was just very tense. Like
trying to be more conservative than normal. Yeah.
It struck my anxiety chord heavily. And it just fucking subconsciously and consciously tensed me up, and I just wasn't me for a while.
Like during the watch party, like mid, while you have to be funny, while you have to be up there and performing, basically.
I wasn't talking a lot, and I don't know where a lot of the hate comes from. I think a lot of things are hive mind and very, one person says something and then 4 people say
the snowball effect.
Exactly. So I don't have an actual good answer. I don't know.
Fuck them.
I just think
I'll be your Ango translator. You've seen that the Key and Peele thing.
Well, that's the truth. Is fuck them. And I've had Bose talk to me too, and Hitch, and they're like, welcome, because like they're like, if you're close to him, think about it. You have 80,000 people watching Seth, right?
Yeah.
And if 500 of them don't like me, and those are the people really getting loud, because hate's louder than the positivity.
Yeah, the extremes are always louder.
Yeah, exactly. So then it sort of amplified, and yeah, I mean, luckily I don't give a fuck now. I mean, they can Lenny.
You got over? You think it doesn't affect you day to day now?
I mean, I don't really go on Reddit, and then I'll block or mute people on Twitter. Like I just try to block out the negativity, because the people around me assure me that they're having fun, that they love what's going on, and that's what's important. Seth is like, dude, please do not let this affect you. Like, we're having fucking fun. So like, I'm good now. But for a while I just didn't get it. I was caught off guard. I was like, why? Like, what did I do to just get hate? Like,
you got on expecting a lot of love. You did get a lot of love.
I did get a lot of love.
But then this random hate train comes too, and that just, it's as unfortunate as people that we can't ignore it.
And you have people who literally have never talked to me ever and don't know me, just like
berating your personality, your character.
So like,
all this.
I'm just like, what? But, I'm over it now. But yes, the answer to your original question is, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things that happens when you have a lot of eyeballs on you and people are outspoken. And the truth is, there are, if you're on a Reddit thread talking about my personality, like,
you don't know me.
Not even that. Like, I can assure you my life is better than yours. Like, just to put it bluntly. Like,
Jesus, Kane, chokeslam, Undertaker, pile driver, done.
I mean, that's the truth. Like, I'm not on Reddit or on Twitter talking shit about people. Like, I'm not.
You brokies don't get the methods, okay?
No.
Goddamn brokies.
No, it's just like. It says more about you than it does about me. If you're
100%.
If you're on a hate thread, or like it speaks more to your unhappiness than the way I am.
Who came up with the idea for the breakdown?
Both of us. It was
how early did that start? Like, where did that come from? Where does it stem from? Was it just
the off season? But before the breakdown was named the breakdown very recently before the show started. It started off as the rotation.
Ooh, okay.
It started off as that rotation. I was like, I don't like that. And then the name got switched a few times, and I was like, how about the breakdown? Because like everyone's talking. I was like,
so name was you?
Yeah. Well, I said, yeah.
You're the original The Breakdown.
The name was me, yeah.
Okay.
I was like, the breakdown. I was like, everyone's saying, holy fuck, what a breakdown. And I'm like, and we're going to be breaking down COD. Like, I think this makes sense. Mm-hmm. And he was cool with it. But yeah, I mean, we planned on starting a show before either of us retired. It was obviously supposed to start next season after we both retired this off season.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the plan was to do a show the entire time. Yeah.
Okay. How has it been? I mean, it's a new thing. How is it going? How has it been? Is it new? Is it like rough to start in this like new realm of
Nah, dude. I mean, the OpTic production team is fucking unmatched.
They make it seamless?
Yeah. I mean, they have everything set up, right? We told them what they want. They had graphics made, animation. The only thing we do is put our suits on and talk and be us, right? I think one problem with it is because of the way the show is laid out, and it's segmented, you know, like different segments.
Yeah.
We're kind of robotic, I feel like sometimes, and it's less free flow. It's more like, does that make sense? Like sometimes we're not necessarily ourselves. We're very like professional, and that's not us. Like we need to be like a mix of professional and a mix of just fucking idiots. So that's the one issue I think we've had, but for the most part, I think it's been great.
Do you ever have trouble critiquing people? Like, because like we said earlier, these are your friends, you know? Do you ever find that hard ground of critiquing some players?
Yeah.
Or friends? Yeah.
Well, it's tough when people say, do you think so-and-so should make a roster change? Like, it's very tough to talk objectively when my friends are involved, right? Like, let's use Seattle, for example, right? Let's say, yo, do you think Lamar should be dropped? And, like, there are times when Lamar's played great. There are times when Lamar's not playing so great. Yeah. But do you know how hard it would be for me to, like, publicly say, I think Lamar should be dropped, I think Dylan should be dropped, I think Cammy should be dropped. You know what I mean? Like, it's impossible. Like, these are people who are literally some of my closest friends. So that's the tough part. I mean, I will always speak objectively about the way they're performing. Like, let's use Austin for an example. Austin's one of my best friends. I think Austin was playing fucking terrible for a bit this year. Like awful. Yeah. And
he's saying that, not me, Austin.
No, I've said it to him, and he knows. But I know he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
So I was, of course, when he wasn't playing well, I was like, Jesus, Austin can't buy a fucking kill. Yeah. But the moment he starts playing well, I am, of course, making it like, yo, Austin is playing lights out. So if you were all hating on Austin, look at him now. Because I think with certain players, Lamar, you know, when Lamar's playing well, it's like, you know, it's like you hear nothing. When Lamar's playing,
it's silent.
When Lamar's playing well, it's like, okay, there's nothing. And then when he's playing bad, it's fucking uproar, Reddit post. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I speak objectively, but I try to steer away from the roster change talk and, you know, if so-and-so should be dropped and all that, because I think the last thing I want to do is see my friends lose jobs and, like, you know what I mean?
And feel like some weird part of that, or just they have some.
Can you imagine Lamar heard me say on my show, yeah, I think accuracy needs to go?
I might pull up on you myself, yeah, exactly. You know? Like, I might have to pull up on you.
Like imagine Austin heard me say that, or like Cammy, or any of my friends, like who is fucking pretty much the entire league I'm friends with. Yes. Obviously some better than others, but I mean, for the most part, we're all friendly. It's kind of one big family. So yeah, I try to steer away from that shit. But some teams, it's like London has to break up. Right, like
we're getting spicy. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Well, like, but you know what I mean. Like,
100. I mean, they haven't won goddamn shit, so it's
like
pretty clear.
Some things are self-explanatory. Like, and you know, like London can't win. These guys need to break up. Boston's not playing well. Whatever it may be, I speak objectively, but I try not to cross that line of like, yo, they need to get rid of this specific player.
That keeps you safe in terms of your critique, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would say, random team, Florida, Rocker, whatever. I would say, yeah, they might need a change, but I wouldn't say,
get rid of that guy.
Yeah, replace Cammy with so-and-so. I wouldn't do that. At least not right now.
Should so speaking on that, two things I got for you.
Go ahead.
Should what do you think about Doug coming to the starting lineup of Boston?
Yeah, the Boston one's a weird one.
What do you think about just Doug's place in the COD? I feel like he's in a very weird middle ground all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Doug's obviously a staple personality in the Call of Duty scene. I mean, he brings a lot of eyes to challengers. Yeah. He's very he's a polarizing personality, right? Controversial. He'll say anything. He's very confident. And also one of the nicest dudes, by the way. I mean, Doug, you can have your opinions on Doug. If I was 2 hours away with a flat tire and I called Doug, he'd be there. So Doug, despite whatever opinion you have on Doug, I will say that guy is a good friend, like for real. And and I fuck with Doug heavy.
On a COD basis as well, just to say, I want to put this out because I want to say this too. You can't perform top 8, top 5, top 4, top 2 consistently without being at least making the right play and playing well. His Challengers team has done pretty well over the year. You can't do that without playing pretty well.
My honest truth, despite how much I love Doug, I think there are better players in Challengers than Doug. I mean, like, I think, look at someone like Mohawk, who has won in Challengers and hasn't received an opportunity. Yeah. I mean, you have players like Gunless, who should not be in Challengers. Pristini, who's a world champion.
Absolutely.
The fact of the matter is, I think Doug is more of like a role player. He's not very flashy. And I think that's what you need to be in the current day and age to get a shot. I think if you're placing second, dropping 40, you'll get a shot before the guy placing first, going 20-20 with 2 minutes in the hill. Like, I think
The statistics always come back to bite you in the ass. Always.
yeah, no, they always.
Just what it is.
Everyone likes to say stats don't matter, but they always talk about stats. And looking cracked and having movement like that Snoopy kid going to Boston.
Crazy.
Apparently,
Crazy.
yeah, I mean, I've seen his mechanics. He looks crazy. And those are the type of people who I think are going to get chances because everyone's looking for that diamond in the rough. Everyone's looking for the next Abizi, the next Simp, the next Pred, the next Hydra. Everyone's looking for that next unknown variable, and I think Doug is a known variable, and I think if you're a known variable, it's way harder now. Look at Goddard X, Casey Pander, players that have been great in challengers consistently, but they're a known variable. They've had their chance, they got pushed out for whatever reason, and now everyone wants the unknown. They want the next up unknown motherfucker, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're trying to find that legendary player.
So I think that's the problem with Doug. I just think he's a known variable, and truthfully, I'm not sure if he'll ever be in the league again.
Damn. Let's get off COD a little bit because I think time's going, and I want to touch on this too. You started a clothing company, a great one. I own pieces, many pieces
Good
actually.
man.
Yeah, many pieces. Better days ahead. What does where did it come from, and what does Better Days Ahead mean to you?
Yeah, so I'm not the founder of Better Days Ahead. I'm one of the owners now, but they had like 1 or 2 releases without me, very small. And Better Days Ahead are like the 3 words my dad always said to me when shit was going wrong. I would get dropped, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would always say Better Days Ahead. I've always wanted to do merch or clothing, but I never wanted to throw Methodz on a fucking hoodie and sell it. Like, I didn't want to.
Shit's corny, son. It's corny.
I didn't want to do that, man. Like, it's about being involved in clothing, which is what I wanted to do. I love the name. I love what it stands for. I'm a big proponent of mental health. You obviously see the highlights of me, and on stream I'm very happy, but like you don't see when I'm fucking having a bad anxiety day or when I don't want to get out of bed.
Right.
So it's my way of subtly, or I guess not so subtly anymore, promoting mental health awareness while also giving back, because obviously we donate money to mental health charities.
Yeah.
As well as like just sort of destigmatizing mental health in gaming or the space. As a player, it was tough because I felt like I was constrained about what I could talk about, because I think the reality is, depending on what's going on, like if I'm having, like, let's say I'm having panic attacks. I'm not, but let's say I am.
Mm-hmm.
And my teammates are like, Zin's having panic attacks, and we're about to play on main stage against fucking FaZe. You can kind of be seen as a liability.
Yeah.
So I was always worried about speaking about mental health as a player, because I didn't want to be seen as a liability, someone that's, a risk on that stage.
But it's been going on you're saying you've dealt with this anxiety or maybe for a long time.
Oh, man. If I didn't have anxiety, I think,
Life would be different?
Fuck yeah. As a player, oh, man.
No, I mean, just generally. Would you say as a player and just life too generally, would you say too?
Yeah, no, of
Both?
course. I mean, yeah, there are, yeah, definitely. But, yeah, Better Days Ahead is just, it's been a pleasure to watch it grow and obviously transform, and we're bigger now, and we're better, better garment, shipping to more places, custom bags. Like, we're upgrading, especially since I retired. But it's just more so trying to let people know that, like, even the people that you look up to, like I try to be very vocal about my mental health and, like, what I deal with or what I've dealt with. Because from the outside looking in, you look at Methodz. Oh my God, you're on OpTic. You're making money.
You're a sexy guy. Oh my God.
You got 1,500 viewers, 2,000 viewers. Like, but you don't know what's actually going on. Like, you don't like the streaming is my escape. Like, you don't know what's going on in my head when I'm in bed at night. You don't know about the days where I don't want to get out of bed. Like, it's just trying to assure people that no matter what highlights you're looking at in this bullshit social media fuck era, that people struggle. No matter who you think it is, I promise, not everybody, but
people are human. There's humanity to it.
People struggle.
Yeah.
So, like, you see what people want you to see.
Right. That's probably the best line right there. People see what you want them to see.
I always say, on my story, you'll see sushi, filet mignon. You don't see the bland chicken and rice I eat for lunch some days. You don't see.
It's not chicken parmesan every day?
Yeah, like, you don't see the chicken and broccoli with fucking hot sauce. Like,
yeah.
You don't see the protein shake. You just see the highlights, and that's all it is. And everybody, they tell you not to compare yourself to others, yet every single one of these apps and whatever conditions you to compare yourself to others. I mean, all of these all of these social media tools and websites are a game of numbers. You know, when you're going up,
algorithm numbers, and the more flashy, the more crazy it looks, the more it's gonna push.
It's become miserable. But yeah, obviously it's just trying to spread, you know, promote mental health awareness, give back to the communities, and just sort of destigmatize it and grow it. And
how do you deal with any anxiety, or whether it's competing or now, or whatever tips you can give to someone that is dealing with anxiety? What would you tell them?
Well, let me start off by
people look up to you. So
let me start off by I'm not a professional. So let me
we're not licensed therapists.
I have to preface that because then it's like you're giving for me going for a walk. My thing is, I think when you're dealing with anxiety and depression, I think small things are like the big wins. Like I think brushing your teeth, tidying up your space, loading the dishwasher, going for a walk, trying to eat a healthier meal, going to the gym, like trying to taking baby steps to improving, because I think unless you have to try to force yourself to do those small things to like get that productivity sort of flowing.
Maintain the routine.
Because it's very easy to rabbit hole and sort of spiral downwards if you let it happen.
Right.
So you kind of have to try to fight it, and that's a lot easier said than done. But like you have to try doing small things. For me, the gym, eating healthier, working out, talking to friends, talking to family. I love watching TV and movies. Like doing things that make you happy, and you know, I feel like that's all you can do is you know do.
Did you have a routine when you competed? Of how to before game days and stuff? If you were anxious, would you do? Was there something you do? Would you just breathe? Was it like a breathing routine or something like that? Yeah.
Deep breaths. While competing, it was weird, man, because competing, if I start off hot, I can stay hot.
Right.
If I was competing and I started off slow and I knew, I was actually weirdly good at I could start off like 2-13 and end up positive or even. I don't know how I did it, but towards the tail end and as things sort of progressed, there were some times where I started maybe freezing up a little bit, or like, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Usually competing was always like my safe space where I would just like, I was in my zone, like it was all good.
The flow state.
Yeah, whatever.
You like the corny shit.
Yeah.
The flow state.
But yeah, I would just say breathing on game days, and I would try to eat healthier, high protein meals, and I was always working out after scrims and stuff, or trying to, and you know,
again, that routine, just maintaining yourself, maintain the routine, maintaining how it goes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, when I started to get off that routine, it got worse. When I stopped working out, when I stopped, you know what I'm saying? It's very, I don't know.
Do everything you can to maintain that, because that's what's keeping life consistent. And not every day is going to be happy. Not every day is going to be sad.
But it's also just fucked now, man, because I'm a social media hater who's addicted to social media and has to use social media. I think it's ruined it all.
Jesus, that's a great line.
I think it's
You're a social media guy who's a social media hater. Like, I don't know exactly what you said, but we'll rewind that. Whatever that you said right there, it was a dime.
Yeah,
it was a gem.
No. Well, yeah, because I think it's ruined everything for everybody. It's like every 18-year-old thinks they should have 1 million followers. Every 22-year-old thinks they should be in Greece for 2 months at a time.
Yeah.
Every streamer thinks they should be XQC.
Yeah.
Every YouTuber. And now the reality is the competition is the highest it's ever been. Like everybody's trying to make it. Everyone's TikTok and everyone's YouTube and everyone's Twitching.
Your competition is some kid in Bangladesh who knows how to dance with his friends. Like your competition could be some guy in Canada, Bangladesh, India. Your competition is the world now.
Correct.
Basically.
So basically what I'm trying to say is mental health is very tough now because it's impossible not to compare yourself to others. And it's impossible to not feel left behind in life. And I have a lot. So like it's weird for me to talk about because I have good money, great family, good friends. So, but even me, I mean, I look up and I'm comparing myself to so-and-so, this streamer, this YouTuber who's, you know, done this and this. So no one's free from it. No one's safe from it. Despite me knowing and being appreciative and being grateful and knowing I'm good, I still do it. So I know those who maybe aren't where they want to be are doing it even worse. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just feel like it's all fucked. This is what I'm trying to say. I feel
ultimately, like this shit is done for, son.
Yeah, it's just a scary thing.
Do you ever get into outlets of like who are your favorite? If let's say you're having you're just watching content, you're having an off day, whatever. Who do you go to watch? Who do you watch? Who would you watch?
Like
Streamers, YouTubers,
Dude, I actually
Netflix,
don't-
comedians, whoever.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a big TV show guy.
Yeah.
So all the top TV shows I watch them, basically.
Talk to me.
That's my answer. I mean, I can start naming every single one. I mean, at that point, like,
Okay, I got you here. I'll direct it. Top 2 series, TV series, and what do you watch? Give me like a series you're watching right now. Top 2 and then one you're watching right now.
I can't give you top 2, so I'm gonna name a bunch that I love: Succession, Game of Thrones, The Wire, Sopranos, Stranger Things, Dark.
Jesus.
I think Dark is one of the most underrated Netflix shows. Mayor of Easttown, The Night of, The Watchmen, The Punisher, Daredevil. Like, I watch a lot of shows, but
You're cranking them out, yeah.
right now, I'm rewatching The Haunting of Hill House, which is a great horror show.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what my next show is yet. Maybe Snowfall. I heard is really good. But when it comes to like content creators, I'll watch my friends. Like, I'll watch Seth. I'll watch ZooMaa. I'll watch my friends play eights. The only streamer that I really watch outside of like my bubble is Kai Cenat. I watch, dude. I crack up at like, dude, on TikTok at night, I'll be in tears. Are you familiar with Kai at all?
Of course, yeah.
Like Phantom?
Yeah.
Dude, so like the shit with Phantom and the food gets me every time. It's like Phantom like barges into his room. So like I'll watch like the Kai, Phantom. I'll watch their group when I do watch Twitch, and then YouTube. If I'm watching YouTube, I'll of course once again watch my circle, Hecz.
Yeah.
I'll watch the people close to me, and then I'll watch like Mav, who is like a life. He like lives out of his truck and travels and shit. Casey Neistat I like. Food videos I love. Mark Weens, Sam the Cooking Guy, Not Another Cooking Show, Binging with Babish. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I love food, man.
Who are your favorite comedians? Because this is one thing I actually know about you from like even knowing you. Yeah.
I think the best comedian is Dave Chappelle.
All time?
Yeah, I think Chappelle is the best at what he does. When it comes to like podcast form and like more like conversationalist, I think Joey Diaz and Theo Von are hilarious,
bro.
And then comedians, my thing with comedians is I think the more they make, the kind of worse they get. But I like Sebastian Maniscalco a lot.
Your impression of him is phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's fucking phenomenal.
Anthony Jeselnik, I like. Kevin Hart's original stuff. So I mean that's
your combo right there.
Yeah.
My favorite. You ever watch Chris D'Elia or no?
Chris Lee?
Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia?
No.
Never heard of him?
Oh no, I know who he is. No, he's in the show You, I think.
He was in like 1 or 2 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like my favorite one. Dave Chappelle for sure. Those guys are all good. But I wanted to see. So I know we're getting towards like an hour in.
Yeah.
Something I wanted to request from you, special for me.
What's up?
I wanted to see if you could answer some questions in impressions.
Like who? Like what do you mean?
I got a list for you. Could you answer the question? Could you answer a question in Pred? Being Pred.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
That one's easier.
Here I have the full list before I give you the list of people that.
Nah, start with Pred.
All right, let's start with Pred.
We'll see. I'll tell you if I can.
Okay. All right, Pred. So how does it feel to possibly join OpTic next year?
You know, it's tough, bro. Obviously, Seth retired. Obviously, I started joining OpTic, bro. Win a ring, you know? Like, join Hector and Scump and, just bring a ring home to OpTic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's what you got? That's beautiful. Beautiful.
But speaking of that question, that's kind of a setup. Just to answer that one briefly, when it comes to roster changes, I don't think champs is the tell-all. I think if you place top 2 at champs, I think if you win champs, there's a good argument to stay together. Yeah. I think second place, there's also a decent argument to stay together. 3 through 8, you're making changes. So when it comes to of course, the golden question, should Pred join OpTic? The answer is, it's all contingent on champs. And that's every roster. That's not just Pred, it's not just OpTic, it's what if the FaZe trio breaks up? What happens? You know what I'm saying? Like there's too many. What happens if Thieves doesn't go back to back? What happens if, you know what I mean?
There's too many.
There's too many moving parts.
Yeah, too many dominoes to fall here.
Correct.
Before fully 100% accepting an idea.
Yeah. So the answer to that question is there's no way to answer that accurately until after champs. If you ask me after champs what team should form, then I can tell you. But right now I can't.
Tune into the breakdown. He'll probably tell you there.
Damn fucking right.
I got a few more though.
Let's hear them.
All right. So Drazah, I wanted to hear what you think about the hate so far. Well, the hate this season and the
fuck it then. I don't give a fuck. That's pretty much all I got. Because I mean, my thing with my impersonation is sometimes I have like just set quotes for these people. Like Drazah's like, you got to kill Spawn right now. It's P3. Good shit.
Okay.
Nadeshot, you want to play Among Us? Like, just like shit like that.
Shit, you just heard them say, and you're like, that's just
Nah,
forever burned in my
It's
memory.
just kind of like my go-tos. But my Drazah is like, I don't know. I feel like any impression I do, for the most part, people will laugh. So like, my Drazah is probably not even that really good. It just, I do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's still solid though.
Yeah.
I got a few more. Ready?
Let's hear it.
So, LAG's been pretty
Ricky?
underperforming.
Are you
Coach
Ricky right
Ricky,
now?
how you feeling right now?
No, Ari, obviously, things haven't went as planned. Just gonna, obviously go back to the drawing board and, talk to the higher ups.
President Trump, how do you feel about me? Are you gonna be running this year? What's going on?
Fucking hell, man! You set me up.
No.
with that
Hey,
one.
listen. This is an impression game. This is not a political
To
statement.
be fair, yeah.
This is just. How do you feel about the indictment, President Trump? No, okay, don't say that. No.
Jesus Christ!
The setup is crazy right now. Let me be easy.
My only Trump quote that I've done on stream impersonations, just like, quite frankly, very good people, quite frankly, very good people.
Okay,
That's
we'll
all
leave
I
it at
got.
that. It's too much of a setup. If I say anything else, it's gonna be too crazy to say. And then I got last one here. How do you think you're gonna do at Champs, Cellium?
Ah, man, I fucking love MC, by the way.
Yeah.
I just, what's gonna go? Obviously, just go out there and do our thing, right? Obviously, obviously, I got the Beezy and Ferris and Tris and obviously Austin the Beast. So let's go out there and try to win.
There you go, dude. Nah, your impression game is it's known by COD.
I might bring back the impersonation series on Twitter. I think I might have to.
Bro, I think it's fucking comedy. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I'm not gonna lie. I've watched you stream obviously for
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Like 2 years now.
Yeah, a lot of people like that shit.
Yeah, your impressions are one of the things I think people fell in love with generally. Just like those will go pop randomly on clips. They'd end up on Twitter and just shit like that will go crazy all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, your impressions are ridiculous.
Yeah, I might bring it back.
Zin City though. I want to talk just quickly about stream.
Yep.
The development of Zin City. How does that community keep you up?
Just like my safe space, my safe space, kinda it's one of those things where once I press start streaming and I have so many people talking to me and asking and sort of blowing smoke up my ass and gassing me up, it's just a good feeling. It's like I have a real community of people that show up every single day to watch me, and it's like I feel like I help them as much as they help me. They've a lot of them have shared I've been through rough patches, and your streams have kept me laughing and afloat. And it's like vice versa. Like when I go live, I'm kind of immersed into that world, and then
You forget about everything.
exactly this is and it's been a great distraction too. I've kept myself busy, and then of course, just seeing the people who come back every single day is what's awesome. Then meeting people in person, it's just a blessing to actually have people that consistently and routinely have you as part of their routine, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I owe it to them to go live and be positive, but also being honest. So that's why I try to talk as bluntly as possible. I'll say, I'm running ads, by the way. I'm trying to fucking save for a house.
Yeah.
Fuck, my anxiety was bad today. I want to go for a walk. I don't really feel like streaming, so I'm gonna get off. I try my best to be as transparent as possible with my community, and yeah, obviously it's just it's a blessing to very few people have can go live and have over 1,000 viewers, so it's very
They love you, bro.
Yeah, no,
They
it's awesome.
absolutely love you, and I love that you're the mental health advocate within the space and the place that's safe for them. And I've read people don't so much take this in account, but I've read multiple stories of people in comments, YouTube comments, stuff just talking about how you've personally reached out. I don't want to put it too much on blast, obviously, but you've reached out personally to them. They talk in your stream about something. You reached out personally, making sure they're okay, and look out for them. People are part of your community and stuff, so it's special. It's close to you, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Not many people do that, so I want to highlight the fact that you do things that
Yeah.
other streamers won't go out of their way and hit a DM randomly and just be a person that's looking out for their community in their true essential way.
I feel like it kind of negates what I try to do, when I do reach out personally, but it's
you gotta show love, bro.
it
These
just
people show you love, gotta show them love back.
No, I do that because I want to do it, not because I want praise for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
I'm not going on stream saying, oh yeah, I message a dude personally. No, I do.
That's what I'm saying it because I
Yeah.
saw that myself
Yeah, I
while I
know.
was preparing for this conversation. Everything,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
making sure. And I don't want you to be the one to have to say that. I want to say that
Yeah, no.
I found this out by going through and researching.
Yeah.
And it's commendable of you just to do that. And
Yeah, man. Listen, it's this world can be fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, if a message from me helps someone stay afloat, then you know what I mean.
That's a blessing, bro.
What can you do? You know, I'll do it every opportunity I get. Obviously, it's sometimes I don't see it or whatever, but
Of course, yeah.
if I'll always try to make the effort, and then you know, obviously, like what's crazy is when I have people tell me like I saved their life, and like my grandma was in tears at the event because some dude's talking to her about how your grandson saved my life, but better days ahead, and all. I'm just like, and she's like, you know, like no matter what, like you're a real winner for that. And I was like, yeah, that you know, that kind of strikes the emotional chords, but
That hit me hard. I don't know. That hit me hard right there when you said that. I was like,
yeah,
damn, bro. Nah, that's the most amazing part, I think, of what you do, and it's regardless of the accolades, regardless of the trophies, regardless of all that stuff, what you're doing for the mental health space, what you're doing with better days ahead, what you're doing for your community. It's, I would argue, more important than everything else you do, and it's a phenomenal effort that people underappreciate about you.
thank you.
I think, you know, let's dive into some fan questions.
Okay.
And then we'll dive into the final exclusive questions.
Okay.
And we'll be out of here.
All right.
Let's do this, bro. Some fan questions coming from Twitter. I put a tweet out earlier saying that I'd be sitting down with the man himself, and some people had just a couple thoughts, couple questions. And CJ, make sure to put their tweets up, and then we'll get the responses. All right, we're gonna go through some of them right now. All right, this comes from OG Susano. Do you feel like the content game has changed since joining the scene? Is it easier now to make videos compared to back then?
Easier now? Hell no. It's just because there's so much competition now. I mean, you have back then, I think any content was good content because there was limited content. So like making content back then, the likelihood it was getting viewed was more. The standards were lower because things weren't developed like they are now. Nowadays, you have to stand out. You have to have a unique editing style. You have to be super funny or go viral on TikTok to get exposure. I think creating content now is a lot more difficult just based on how many people are trying to do it. So
the competition.
So it forces you to have to take the extra step and have something that makes you different. Otherwise, it's all the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. This is from BL Fire, one of your ex-teammates.
Mike.
Yeah, big Mike here. Codzilla, did Methodz carry me, Nadeshot, and Scump?
Fuck yeah. Nah, I think
that's right, boy.
No,
He's saying it.
I was playing well.
Yeah.
I think Seth was carrying. I mean, that kid was fucking gross at MW3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was
it.
playing well. I was good.
Yeah.
I was playing well.
That's it, Mike.
We all played well. Yeah, we were fucking great.
Mike's like 6'9", dog.
Yeah,
I met him in real life. Like, I talked to him in Discord calls, and I think Black Ops 3, I met him in real life. And I was like,
too tall.
Jesus Christ, did they make you in a Russian lab, bro? Who are you?
Too tall, dude.
That fool is funny as hell,
Too
though.
tall.
How do you find the best places to eat at whenever you travel?
Dude, my cheat code is Yelp. Just download Yelp. It's the only thing you got to do is download Yelp, type in the location you're going to, and look at the reviews. Look at, filter it by highest rated. It's literally it. I'm a fraud. I'm a
fucking fraud.
I'm a Yelp user.
Okay. Do you ever leave Yelp reviews?
Hell no. See,
You're never being a Karen on a Yelp review?
So when I make reservations on Open Table, I'll always give a 5-star review, but I don't leave Yelp reviews.
Okay, like we don't. There's not like a hidden burner account somewhere.
Sebastian Maniscalco says it best. He goes, "You ever see a review on Yelp?" He goes, "Not me." He goes, "I don't understand these people." And he goes, "I look at my wife, I say salmon sucked. Let's get the fuck out of here." Like I'm not,
You're at the time for this shit, yeah.
No, man. If a restaurant sucks, I'm just never gonna come back. I'm not gonna ruin someone's livelihood or their business by leaving a shit review. So,
okay, he's a fraud, boys. Nah, it's okay. What was Method's favorite year competing and why?
2018.
Is that World War II?
Yeah, my first ever LAN championship with Rise, joining OpTic.
MVP.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
Yeah, 2018. And just that
stun on them. Tell them, let them know.
That Columbus era where we're all together on LAN, all in apartments and walking distance. Like, I think that was the
I hear
golden
great
era.
things about that time.
Oh, man.
Everyone's all the pros are in one place.
I would love to go back. We're all, what a fucking time, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2018, easily.
Should the league bring that back? You think?
But I don't think it'd be the same.
Nah.
They should, but I don't think it'd be the same.
Just that could be cope or just being like, that was our time of something.
Maybe.
I feel like it would be great, but just having everything back on LAN like that would be phenomenal.
It'd be better than now, yes.
Yeah.
The answer to that question is yes, but I do think it'd still be a little different.
Okay. Does he have any plans on ever investing in a team for the CDL? That's a big question.
No, I mean not right now. I mean, I'm on OpTic as a content creator, so I don't really. Yeah, no, my answer is no.
Baby
as of right
steps,
now.
baby steps,
Yeah,
baby steps.
Yeah.
When was the first time Zin realized he was a pro or could go COD full time? I want to know when the grind became, all caps, real.
That's a fucking. I have weed brain, man. I don't smoke anymore, but
You're talking about back then, yeah? It was a blur back then.
I don't know. I mean, 14, I knew I'd be a pro.
At 14?
I basically was pro. Well, I was the youngest pro in the world at 15. When I went pro, I was the youngest pro in the world at the time.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, fact. I would say 13 or 14 is probably when I knew. But I was grinding COD no matter what. I was grinding COD because I was addicted to it and I loved it. I loved playing game battles every day, World at War, MW2. The grind was real before I knew I'd become a pro. You know what I'm saying?
It was just a love for the game and love for the competition.
I was obsessed with Call of Duty, yeah.
Okay. Whose idea was it to join OpTic after retiring? How did that move come about? We kind of spoke on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we kind of spoke on that. I mean, OpTic's kind of where I always wanted to be, and then, luckily they wanted me here as well. So
just like that.
At least I think so. Fuck.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh my God.
I hope they want me here.
Yeah, this is all a troll. This is a dream, bro.
Yeah.
If you were starting out now, would you still choose Call of Duty as the game you go pro in, or would you choose something different today?
Probably not. But I don't know. I just think based on the limited amount of teams we have and looking at how many players still haven't gotten a shot, or players like Gunless or Pristini that are in Challengers or Classic, it's like, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with other esports like that and how easy it is to come up, but I do think it's a very, very limited pool of players who get a shot in our league. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but that's kind of my opinion on it.
Fair. If the right moment came with either a good COD or roster, would you ever consider going back to competing?
I said it before. I think I'd probably, as of right now, never say never. I'd probably only ever compete again if I had an opportunity to compete on OpTic. Like right now, and a lot would have to go wrong. Like I'm not saying I want, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the only way I would compete is if I would play for OpTic. Like if I could have my cake and eat it too, I would. Like if I can be on OpTic and play Call of Duty for OpTic, I would. Yeah.
Methodz and Scump come back, the duo return.
Imagine. We'd have a lot of fucking viewers. I'll tell you that.
That'd be the
more so because of him.
Who the hell would be in the watch party then?
Hecz, Bows.
You guys running back to the stage. All right, boys, we're back. We're back for the watch party.
Dude, I've actually thought about that in bed. Like, imagine we were still competing, but every second we weren't in an actual match, we were on the watch party. So the watch party would be watching us compete while we're competing, and then we walk over and we watch party.
That might be the best content I've ever heard in my life.
Right?
Most insane shit I've ever heard in my life, but that's something right there. Would you? I want to add to that slightly though. Would you coach ever?
Probably not.
No.
I think I'd be a decent coach, but.
You do the rank play for dummies, series, so that's why I asked because of that.
I would coach as a last resort, if that makes sense.
Last resort.
Like if all else failed, or like if something fucking drastic happened and I just lost Zin City, they just didn't renew their leases, like I think, I think maybe, but I don't really have an interest in coaching though.
Twitch just bans you for saying a fucking ballsack joke.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah. What was the most challenging thing in the past few months after ending a decade-long career and pursuing content?
Just the routine and lifestyle change, and you don't really feel those highs and lows that I did when I was competing. It's a very up and down. Those lows are low, but the highs are high. Yeah, just different, man. It's just a different life. It's a different type of stress. It's a different type of work. It's just an adjustment, I guess, is the best answer. And I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. And
still fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What was your favorite COD LAN event memory? It could be an in-game moment, a funny moment, during or outside the event?
Winning MVP, Atlanta.
Best moment ever?
Yeah. Nothing
like it?
No. As a competitor, no. That was it.
Well, if you could describe in 2 sentences or 1 sentence, what's winning like?
I mean, it's just bliss. It's just your hard work culminates to a championship, and you get to hoist it in front of all the people in the crowd, and they're taking your picture, and everyone's texting and calling. It's what every competitor, I think, it's what every competitor works for. So to work to put in that work every day and actually have it pay off, only one team gets that opportunity per event. So for that to be me for that event was great.
Do you have any funny, crazy COD LAN stories from back in the day that you think people might not know about? We'd love to hear some old lore.
I mean, back in the UMG days, you'd have the ice buckets or the ice baths where, like, if you fell asleep on Sunday night, you were fucked.
What? Wait, what is this?
So on Sunday nights, if you fell asleep in your hotel room, because everyone's up drinking, partying, bullshitting.
Hotel bar, the famous hotel bar.
So if you fall asleep, you're getting ice bathed. Like 20 pros are walking into your room. They're recording you. There's videos online of like for example, one night I was shirtless, sleeping. I was fat as fuck still, and there's 20 pros in my room. They poured ice water on me, woke me up, and I knew that there were 20 people and there were cameras on me, so I couldn't get up. I was like shielding myself from the camera. But yeah,
you're like son of a bitch. They got me.
Happened to everybody, man. Killa, me. Yeah, I mean,
this shit was the ice bucket challenge before the ice bucket challenge.
No, it was a thing. Like,
don't go to bed.
Yeah, you go to bed. There's videos you can watch. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah,
CJ, find one of these videos and include it somewhere here because this might be. You said somewhere online. I don't know. That is I think that's the end of the fan questions. Now I'm gonna ask the closing exclusive questions.
Okay.
All right.
Let's hear 'em.
As a former lover of food.
Fat ass.
Lover of food. You said it. I didn't say it. Favorite fast foods, top 3.
Favorite fast foods, top 3, just in general?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Need a top 3, baby.
No order, Wendy's.
Wendy's, okay.
Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's maybe?
That's the weirdest list I've ever heard.
Why?
Well, normally like a McDonald's and an In-N-Out, you know?
McDonald's is nice.
You said that with so much fucking love, bro.
My most underrated will receive a lot of hate. I fucking love Burger King, dude.
That's the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life.
The Whopper from Burger King is the most underrated fast food burger out there.
I don't think I've ever in my life. This sentence has never come out of my mouth in my life.
I won't debate it.
Let me get a Whopper. Never happened in my life. In my life, I've never thought to say that. There's a Burger King near my house. I've been there twice for ice cream. That's it. Their ice cream's underrated. I will say that though.
Okay.
Their ice cream's actually underrated. I need you to send out a 1v1 $1,000 chow to somebody.
A 1v1 $1,000 chow for somebody? What do you mean?
1v1 COD, $1,000 chow. Who would you challenge?
Lamar.
Holy fuck, that was fast.
Yeah. I'd fucking smoke Lamar. Radar on free for all. I think I win 30 to 23.
A prediction on score too?
Yeah,
nah, you're crazy for that, bro.
It might be 30 to like 17.
Oh my god. We gotta make this is content. This is content for sure, but you're gonna get slammed. I hope you get slammed. Just because I need it to age badly.
All right.
Okay. 1v1 boxing chow.
1v1 boxing chow?
Boxing chow.
Like a good fight?
CDL boxing league. Who you taking?
Like who do I want to, or who do I think would be like a decent, like an actual good fight?
Both those answers are kind of spicy, but who would you want to take? Let's go there.
Who would I want to fight?
Who the fuck you want to square up with? Young Scrap? Put him in his place?
Nah, I love Scrap. I mean, I think because I love everybody. So whoever I'm gonna say I'm friends with, which is like, because like there's no one I actually like want to fucking.
Let's say
fight.
Best fight though. 1v1, you and like weight. You know, you gotta be like weight wise and all that shit.
Best fight?
Yeah, 1v1 boxing. CDL boxing league starts tomorrow. Who you getting? Who's on the banner?
It's like 165, 170 in the CDL.
160. I think 165. Very specific. I think most people are around there, but like. Then you got some like Skinny Bone Jones people like Dylan's like 145.
Yeah, no. Actually,
Lamar would be right there. Not gonna lie to you again.
Yeah, he's got height on me though.
You got low. You're more compact. You know, you're the Mike Tyson of the league. You're using the hips. Who do you want to fight? Give me either or.
Give me Pred, bro. Let me just.
What?
Let me just fucking elbow him.
That fucking rugby body is taking you over,
yeah,
bro.
Nah, he is a fucking absolute lard. My actual who do I think would actually be a good? That's a tough question. I don't know who'd be a good fight.
You know?
Who do you think would be a good fight?
For you?
Yeah, like just
viewership wise or just good fight?
Yeah, good fight. Viewership wise, you just pick whoever's fucking big.
No, I mean I think you versus Seth would be a great fight.
Me versus Seth?
Yeah, I think it's a great fight.
I fucking maul him.
Jesus Christ. I think it'd be a good fight though. I actually think, or like you versus Damon or something. Damon's around like ones.
Damon? I'd fucking spear Damon through a wall.
It's not WWE, fucking crazy man.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question to be decided.
Okay. To be decided. See the boxing league coming soon.
I'll fight someone one day.
One day, okay. All right, now. How'd you get your gamer tag? I've always wanted to know that about you, myself.
I joined an MW2 lobby. I liked someone's name and I stole it.
You fucking hoe.
That's the answer.
You just saw Methodz somewhere?
Yep.
With the Z?
Yep.
Nah, you're a hoe for that.
Yep. well, originally it was capital M, lowercase e, capital T, capital H, lowercase o, capital D, capital Z.
They were on their bullshit with that one.
But then I switched to just Methodz with a capital M. When did I switch? I think I switched maybe in Black Ops 3.
When it had
no, I switched in AW. I don't know. I switched MW3. I was still. No, I had two different gamer tags in MW3. One was lowercase capital. One was just regular.
Got it.
But yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, create your top 4 roster of all time.
Top 4 roster ever?
All time.
Like from which game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scump MW3.
Okay.
As one of the SMGs.
Mm-hmm.
It's either Black Ops 4 Simp. Kid was filthy.
Disgusting. Every gun, didn't matter what he picked up.
Yeah, I'm going Seth AW, Black Ops 4 Simp, Ghost Crim, and main AR I'll go IW Formal.
That's a fucking filthy team.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Okay. I think now we will conclude. Now we're going to go to the final questions.
The exclusive?
The exclusive
All right.
questions, which are inspired by James Lipton. If you've never seen Inside the Actor Studio, give it a watch. He always ended every talk, conversation, interview with this. I carry on his tradition since he passed away because I loved watching that conclusion to an interview. So let's start. What's your favorite word?
Favorite word?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, that's it? Or are we saying fuck as in I don't know what to say?
Favorite word? Fuck.
Oh, okay. Well, what's your least favorite word?
Moist. Moist.
It's a great word, though. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I don't know. What turns me on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Don't say some horny shit now.
No, I won't. Weird fuck. Probably hanging out with friends and just like laughing. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Just like being like, I don't know.
Just kicking it with the boys. Just kicking it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a solid answer. Maybe I don't know.
It's fair. I think it makes sense. What turns you off in that same way? What turns you off?
I don't know. Okay, I wasn't expecting these level of questions.
Come on, brother.
I'm thinking.
This is exclusive.
Yeah,
Ain't no peasant shit.
What turns me off creatively? Probably my anxiety, just like second guessing myself, like, you know, just being hesitant, overthinking, definitely overthinking, just like thinking the worst, you know, what if they don't like it? What if this, that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What if it goes wrong? I would say overthinking.
Okay, it's fair. Open up. Okay, this is already kind of answered, but what's your favorite curse word?
Yeah, fuck.
Thank you. What sound or noise do you love?
What sound or noise do I love?
Yes.
Probably like thunderstorms, like rainfall.
Damn, you must love Dallas then.
Yeah, it's been raining a lot here.
A lot of rain, random
Yeah,
thunderstorms.
it's been a lot.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Sound or noise? Oh, like nails on the chalkboard, like that type. Oh man. Ugh.
Makes your skin crawl?
Oh yeah, like forking it. Oh fuck.
It's like the normal ones, though. It's like traditional ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
My dream job is an actor. My whole life, I'd do anything to be an actor.
I could see you in there. I can see you
Anything.
there. Stand-up comedian. You're fucking hilarious.
Hey, thanks, man.
What profession would you not like to do?
What profession would I not like to do?
Yeah.
Like customer service, like dealing with fucking assholes. Because I wouldn't be able to be talked down to or like treated like some people are really fucked up or like just rude to like people who are trying to help. And not me. I'd tell someone to go fuck themselves. So I wouldn't be able to deal with like that industry where it's like people are like taking out their bad day on you. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Fair. Here goes. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fat Tony himself, Zin, I appreciate
Absolutely.
you, brother. Thank you
Yes,
for coming
sir.
on exclusive.
Yes, sir.
That's it, everyone.
Thank you guys for watching.
That's it. We're out.